And since we shift from a space that is governed by the hands and feet to a space of the head, still in the Pisces season, definitely a time when we can run into things looking really, really good. Our headspace can really have us settling into that. So we want to make sure that we're taking our time to really know that we're in the right place and not being following illusions or following what looks appealing. A lot of rose-colored states. Yeah, a lot of rose-colored states. So we want to make sure that we're actually navigating and that really listen. This is why it's so important to listen to your body. And I'm going to keep saying that. It's really important to listen to your body, listen to your emotions, especially really tune in with this Virgo full moon. Really, what is your body saying to you? What emotions are coming up that need to be addressed? What is trying to be communicated? What is your heart trying to liberate and release? You can't heal. You can't really hear your heart if your heart is damaged. So if your heart is damaged, maybe you're having trouble even receiving this message. Maybe it's just the fact that you got to start with the basics, the fundamentals. You might just have to start with healing. You might not be ready to really tune into all these other feelings that you're feeling. You might just have to start with the healing and just address the fact that you are feeling numb and working from there. So let's tune into this Pisces and Venus, the energy during this time. I definitely want to pull, I'm feeling like 2 cards because I want to pull for the transit of Pisces and Venus, and I also want to pull for the transit of moving into Aries and the impacts that we can kind of navigate and experience during this time to be emotionally open for the success based on our positions. Because remember, this is always about your position. So we're tapping into that energy, want a clear and concise message with rhetoric that's easy to understand for the collective, that one's heart can resonate with from their position. We tap into the divine and sacred space free of judgment, honoring to walk in our power so that we can hear and know that we have arrived at the right place to answer, full of clarity and wisdom. Pisces. Yeah, so we're seeing Pisces, Venus, we're seeing the world. The world, there's a big shift taking place. So this is also going to be very indicative of being able to get what you want, being on top, being on the axis. But there's also a confirmation of power, because the world is recognizing not that things are taking place around you, but this is also recognizing that you have influence. You're aware of the influence. You're awakening to the influence. You either are awakening or have awakened to it and are actually ready to do something real with it, kind of take the world by storm and ride the reins. So with the world showing up, with definitely in Pisces season, you have this whole new activation of energy, and this, I can constitute this or attest this to those Neptune waters and having all this abundance of energy, because Neptune is associated with spirituality. So it's literally like we're tapping into source. Like you I don't know if you're like familiar with like DC and like Hal Jordan, the battery. It's like tapping, like you can call upon your energy, or you can just plug right in and just tap into source and get full charge. It's like it's an unlimited tap. So with Pisces, we're literally tapping into source. So there's a lot of amplification. There's a lot of vivid dreams. Like one of the things that like one of the messages I pulled for the week was for the sacral chakra with relationships, but bonus came out was the ajna. So that's definitely telling me and the collective that there is a truly a visualization of the ideal or most romantic self, whether we're dealing with our higher self or getting closer to being around or being who or being with what it is that is a mirror, the biggest mirror of what it is that we desire to be connected to. So during this time with the Pisces and Venus, there's been some rigidity, because before we shifted into this placement, we have been being met with a lot of resistance, but Pisces opened up those waters and our minds started to open up to new possibilities of love or new states of emotional places of being. And we've increased our range during this time. We've also expanded, and with that expansion, it's allowed us to essentially look at where we're at with a new perspective, and we're discovering keys and ways of accessing spaces within the connections that we've been dealing with, both new or otherwise, or we're seeing people differently, and it's actually allowing us to take things to a new level. A lot of us are revisiting connections that may have not worked out, connections and projects that may have not worked out. Looking at ourselves in ways with new light and seeing new parts of ourselves that we hadn't noticed before.